It looks like Wizards finally created a secret lair that is not only super desirable for the cards inside, but has some awesome artwork, and the proceeds go to support a good cause. So today, let's talk about the new Pixel Perfect secret lair and how it is. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for being here. As always, be sure to hit that like button if you do enjoy the video. Click the subscribe button to be subscribed to the channel. Get notified by clicking the bell icon. You know the process at this point. I do appreciate those of you who do take the time to do that. I know a lot of people who watch my videos are not actively subscribed. We have a pretty cool little community here of people, and you know, it's been great to see the growth, and I'm super thankful for that. So, just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing, putting out videos. And today we're gonna be talking about the secret lair Pixel Perfect that is going to be dropping next week. That is October 14th. And this is a really, really cool product. And I will say, while I make videos about secret lairs and talk about them from a financial perspective, as well as, you know, content perspective, I don't often get super excited about a lot of them the way I am about this one. And I'll explain why, and we'll talk about it, you know, as we kind of get into it here. This was announced yesterday as it's a singular drop. I don't think it's part of a super drop. We should have maybe one more super drop before the end of the year, but this is just its own thing. And it's going to be a really cool product. Now, it looks like the price is going to be $39.99, which is $10 more than the usual, you know, base price for a secret lair. However, proceeds from this will be going to charity as part of the Extra Life charity event for this year. And it looks like the Children's Miracle Networks of hospitals will be the beneficiary of those donations. So it's going to a good cause. And obviously, you know, it's a quintessential Wizards thing to, you know, I guess screw up these types of things with secret lair drops and stuff. So I'm pleasantly surprised that in this particular case they are not. Although when we did have the one that sold for Sheldon a couple months back, that one was also well done and well received, as well as not being limited print run. So I'm glad that for the charitable ones, at least, you know, they're taking this approach. So yeah, this will be up from October 14th through November 17th, and it will be a print to demand as well as a, I don't know what the term would be, but in other words, they've printed a very large quantity of them already, so a good majority of people who buy them will get them quicker than November, but it will switch to a print to demand model after the initial shipment has sold out, meaning that everyone will have a chance to get one. It's just some people will likely get them much sooner because there is already a supply of these printed. So if you want them, you don't have to worry about like the crazy queue and missing out. You are guaranteed to be able to get one if you order it between that time window, which is awesome. I think that's probably how they should do it overall. I understand that for something like this, it's better to leave it open longer and allow more proceeds to come in for charity. Even if they don't typically want to wait a month for the secret lairs, it would be great to see them take the approach of going to, like, I don't know, 2 weeks. You know, a 2-week window of being open or a 1-week window of being open. You know, it doesn't even have to be that long. Just guarantee a certain period of time that people can go in there and get it, because we've obviously seen a lot of these selling out, and that's, you know, something that the player base has very understandably been frustrated by. And even then, you know, if you wanted to do some occasional limited drops, I think that's okay too. But I think the general structure of secret lairs should be, you know, printed demand, open order window or whatever, like they were doing before. But what remains to be seen whether or not this is just for the charity or if they're making some kind of, you know, adjustment in regards to the feedback that people gave. I suppose we'll have to see, because right now I truly don't know what their plan is there. So let's look at the cards first. We've got Mana Geyser, and these artworks are undeniably one of my favorite artworks that I've seen out of a secret lair ever. Obviously in the style of like an 8-bit video game, and you've got Flip the Lost with Ajani sort of being the talking text box there, some Castlevania type throwbacks. But it's such a unique artwork, and it's just really, really well done. I wasn't expecting this at all. And as someone who really appreciates and enjoys some of those retro games, as well as the art style that they present, I do feel like this kind of is like the best of both worlds. Mana Geyser is a pretty solid card. It's about $3 at the cheapest for a non-foil, and then the cheapest foil is around $17 out of Conspiracy, so not terrible value. I mean, it's on the lower end, but there are some cards in here that are on the higher end, so I expect that you're going to balance that out. And the artwork for it is pretty cool. So overall, I think it's a solid inclusion for a decent card. We've got Lightning Bolt, which is a, you know, pretty much an iconic card that sees play in a lot of formats. but it's not exactly super expensive. It has been reprinted into the ground, and it has, you know, plenty of different versions that you can get, going all the way back to, I'm pretty sure, alpha. So, you know, whatever you want from a collectability standpoint, Lightning Bolt is not necessarily going to be the highest. However, the artwork here is amazing. And the cheapest Lightning Bolt's about $1, with the foil variants being around $2.50 at the cheapest. So again, you can get them pretty easily. Even previous Secret Lair versions of Lightning Bolt are around that $3 to $5 price point. Not really hard carrying this. Where we get to some bigger cards, though, is first Delayed Blast Fireball. This card is not the greatest card ever printed, but it does see a lot of play, especially in Commander. And it is a card that has just been steadily rising in price. It was in Baldur's Gate. That's the only set it's been printed in. It has a regular and an extended art version, and it's around $14 at the cheapest to get that card. The thing about this one that's interesting is there is no foil version of it that exists at all. So this is I don't have a price comp to look at it and say, what is this going to be for the foil? And I have no idea. So assuming that this Secret Lair does have a regular and a foil version, which I'm not sure whether or not it will, or if it'll just be one. I guess we'll have to see if they do both or just one non-foil, whatever. But it would be pretty cool to get a foil variant of this, obviously, assuming they don't Pringle. But just, you know, the item, there's no price comp for it. So that's ultimately what I'm saying in terms of the reprint value there. But it looks like, yeah, this is going to be a $40 product. So I'm guessing it's either going to be $40 and $50 and you'll have foil or non-foil, or it's just going to be $40 and it'll just be a flat whatever. We really won't know until next week when they list it, so we'll have to see for sure. But I'm just going to treat it as though it'll be both. Obviously, if it's not and you're looking for price comps, just use, you know, whatever one is applicable for that. And finally, the real card here that is just a massive inclusion and a really, really good reprint, and I commend them for this. I know a lot of times people want to criticize Wizards, and I like to jump on that train as well, but when they do something good, I'm going to go ahead and give them their flowers for it as well. Fierce Guardianship is a really pricey card, around, I don't know, $35 at the cheapest for the Commander Masters reprint, and then 40-ish for the foil. So that alone is almost the cost of the Secret Lair itself. And it's a Commander staple. It's so good. If you play blue, you really should be playing the card if you have access to it. And it's just one of those cards that, despite getting that initial reprint, did not drop in price. I mean, a year and a half ago, this card was like $70 before we knew it was getting reprinted. So it's a really good reprint. Just on value alone, if you were going to be buying the Secret Lair, you're supporting a good cause and you're getting a card that's going to be worth the value. I don't think this card is going to suddenly drop below the price that it's at because of this reprint. So this is a really, really good inclusion. And this is sort of what I talk about in some of these videos when I say it would be great if they took these cards and they made, you know, a Secret Lair that had like one or two higher end cards, and you want to put some lower end cards in there, that's fine, but give us a nice balance to incentivize buying it, because it's not like it costs them more to put the other ones in here. And obviously with something like this, I think they want to make sales. They know that putting a card like Fierce Guardianship in there is going to get a lot of people to buy it, but they also did a great job with the artist selection and the overall composition of the Secret Lair. So yeah, I really can't complain. I think this is a really good product as a whole. And I will be buying it. So I'm excited about that. Now, for the total values here for non-foil, we're looking at about $53 in value, which again, is at the very least going to be more than you're paying. That, is never a one-for-one exchange. I always just want to clarify that. Like, I'm not saying you're going to buy it and be able to sell all of these for that same value. It's more so just what would it cost you to buy these cards separately when you're looking at the actual overall worth of this product from a value perspective. And for a foil, it's going to be $60 plus. Again, there's no value for Delayed Blast Fireball, so I don't know what to expect for that and whether or not that is going to have a foil or not. And so when you're looking at a cost of $40 and potentially $50 for the foil, if there is one, both of them kind of check that box of giving you your value's worth. And again, it's supporting a good cause. So it's a really good Secret Lair. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I think it's solid. Some people might complain that they're charging a little bit more, but truth be told, like, I understand the need to, make back whatever your costs are, and then you want to be able to put all that extra money to charity. My stance on it is probably like, it's $30 and then we're donating 10 to charity is what you're doing, right? Like, you're buying the Secret Lair at the cost of 30 and then the extra money is what's being donated. So it's not like they're giving a ton of the proceeds necessarily. They are raising the price to do that, but at the end of the day, if there is a good amount of money being sent to help a really good cause, I think that's important and kind of more important than some of the negativity that people like to throw around with a lot of this stuff. So I think think it's a great product. I'm going to be buying it. Obviously, you know, I think a lot of people are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of the secret lair. Are you interested in it? Are you planning on getting it yourself? And if you're not, let me know why, what it is about it that you're not into. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.